And we're back. We're back with my friend Jace, the casual sculptor. We're gonna do something interesting. Jace has a video that a lot of people seem interested in, and it's group hug, group slug.
Hug.
No. This is group slug, right? You messing with me? This
No, sir.
this win. You do something degenerate to win, right? Actually, yeah, you do.
I mean, the deck has win cons in it, but it's not like the deck is designed to try to win.
So we have a casual Sans Black group hug deck. Who is this? I don't know these dudes. Who are my friends here?
So our friends here today are Kynaios and Tiro of Melodis.
And how does this deck win? Okay, wrong question. What is the objective of this deck?
The deck is designed to have fun. It was an answer to my play groups being tired of my other decks being too powerful. So I made a funny deck.
A funny deck. And funny enough, if you get the right synergies together, do the games end?
Oh, the games end. If you get the right synergies together, people forget they're playing Magic the Gathering.
But all in all, what do? You just give your opponents tons of advantage.
Yes, and then while they're trying to deal with each other, sometimes I can steal a victory.
Now, your commander, their ability has nothing to do with like any particular card synergies, right? It's just another thing with a lot of colors to give additional advantage to your opponents
And myself.
and yourself.
Yes, it's a completely symmetrical group hug deck.
Okay, so let's get started. So we have here what? We have Possibility Storm. What do we do with Possibility Storm?
Well, Possibility Storm gives combo players a headache because when they cast spells, they expect them to be the spells that they cast. This throws things into a loop. It could make a Llanowar Elf into a World Spine Worm, or it can turn a counter spell into a cantrip.
Very, very cool. And you run this in combination with Drannith Magistrate, right? I know there's a combo with a.
You gotta be kidding. Drannith Magistrate should be banned from Commander.
And so next we have a Hive Mind.
So usually people run Hive Mind in combination with Pact cards to make their opponents lose the game. However, this is in the deck to throw a little bit of a chaos element into the game. And all spells become community, whether they like it or not.
My, Mamma Mia. Knowledge. We have Knowledge Pool. I know this card. It goes in like niche CDH decks. So this goes in niche CD. So this deck CDH, right? That's the mentality Reddit has. If this card is in a niche CEDH deck, then by definition your deck is CEDH.
Well, there's the difference. It might be CEDH, and as in C, this is EDH.
So Knowledge Pool. What does Knowledge Pool do here?
Knowledge Pool also throws a little bit of a chaotic element into the game where you can start playing with your opponent's card pools. Also, oddly enough, combos with Possibility Storm to lock your opponents out of casting spells. I am not going to explain how that works. You can look it up
You
on
can
the
look
internet.
it up on the internet, yeah. What is this? Insurrection.
Okay, so it being a group hug deck, there are very few ways for you to win in these games. Since you're giving your opponents huge advantages, sometimes you can make them pay for it. If you're looking to close a game out and there are huge boards on the table, and just throw down an insurrection, you can kill one or two people.
Fair enough. Okay, so we know approach the second sun. You pull this off. Have you actually successfully pulled off a win with the approach?
An obvious win condition. So, in conjunction with a few cards and 23 or 24 mana, which is not uncommon for this deck to be able to do, you can conceivably cast Approach of the Second Sun, draw it in the same turn, and then cast it again. I have pulled this off several times.
So it's not an anime fantasy.
It is not an anime fantasy.
Okay. What's this? Force Fruition. Just a card?
It's a card. As a matter of fact, it is one of the few major win conditions of the deck, where your opponents will run out of
They'll attack
cards.
themselves, yeah. Oh, wow, this is very punishing. Wow, oh my God. I mean, if only it was 2 CMC and not a 300 CMC, maybe this might see a play in CDH to punish Storm players.
Well, as most Storm players can win the game with a Thassa's Oracle, it's not as helpful against stronger decks.
But yeah, I could see how this card could just play it and let it do its own thing, and
Yes.
things get carried away. Smothering Tithe. You have now. I asked you this question. Why is Smothering Tithe in this pile of win cons and not just somewhere more towards the rear as just a generic, good enchantment?
Well, just think about it with the description of the last card. If you're forcing your opponents to draw 7 cards with each spell that they cast, that instantly turns into 7 treasure tokens, as the "Are you paying 14" turns into a "Are you kidding me?"
So are we? Oh no, we're not there yet. So are we in our just creatures package?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So Tidal Barracuda. What is this thing?
So it's a creature that allows anyone to cast spells at flash speed. That is all spells. However, it comes with a caveat of not being able to cast spells during your turn. So it's technically a Grand Abolisher.
It's a Grand Abolisher, yeah.
As long as it's your turn.
It's a fair Grand Abolisher.
It's a fair Abolisher.
Fair Abolisher.
So I don't think I need to explain too much of not being able to cast spells during your turn. You can do all the stupid things that you want to do.
With your 5 billion treasure.
Correct. Okay, now we're in the creatures package.
Magus of the Vineyard. Wait, is there just a vineyard? I'm a boomer, but is there just a? What is this a creature version of? I guess it's a creature version of.
It's a creature version of Elidomri's Vineyards, which we'll get to in the enchantments package.
Oh, that's in here too. Okay, so what do we? Is this our creatures package now?
Correct.
All right, so we're gonna fast forward a little bit because we explained some of the main win comms, and for brevity, we'll just quickly go over the creatures that Jason plays in deck. Now, I help you deconstruct the deck. No dorks.
No dorks.
No fetches.
No fetches.
Fair magic.
Fair magic.
And you can cast these trillion CMCs, no problem.
Generally not a problem. So, oddly enough, the best way to increase your mana is to increase everybody's mana. They tend to not look at you funny when they're receiving an advantage.
Is this a dork?
No. It is another creature that is similar to the last creature. However, it gives the mana during the upkeep, and it does not disappear until the end of the turn.
What's this? So my eyes, it's difficult. Some of these things I've never seen in my life. Maybe the one time playing against you, but what we have here, Veteran Explorer. Oh, everybody searches basics. Wow.
If it dies, correct.
What's this thing? Duke Side Bak Book Book Beak? Must be, if he's in the deck, it has to be a CDH deck. Sorry, Jason, that's two cards in the deck so far that are CDH cards. So Jason, you're just a CDH deck, so I don't know, man.
You might have something there.
Who's this? Zoo Poo Boo? What is this? The Star Wars multiverse? What's going on here? What do we have here? What does this thing do? Whenever a player taps for mana, that play. Oh, so this thing genuinely does give advantage to your opponents any way possible.
That is correct.
But
if you look carefully, it does say each player. So you are able to take advantage of these cards if it gets back to your turn.
Yes, that's a lot of mana.
It is.
It's like a dork, but in the weirdest way possible.
And oddly enough, it's also a 7/5.
Maelstrom Wanderer. Once upon a time, this thing, I guess before people were even playing Commander, he was like the man, the thing in Commander, right? Cascade.
So it's basically in the deck for random element. You could randomly cascade into
Yeah, you could look second to like
a
one of these.
Signet, or you can luck sack into a Smothering Tithe.
Yep, so that's fair enough. Can you believe we've come? I mean, I'm not ragging. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. I'll rag on the deck, but
Right.
Magic has come a long way. Remember when this was like a viable thing and a thing you had to worry about?
In some circles, it still is.
Oh my god. What in the world?
So what's better than 2 Cascades? Why not make it 4?
Oh my god. What is this? Chupacabra? Oh, Perplexing Chimera. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may exchange control. What? Oh, I've gone against this thing.
So Perplexing Chimera throws a huge wrench on the table. It makes your opponents worry if they're going to be able to get their important spells out. So I like to save it for the I win the game cards. However, it's generally a fun card as if it starts flowing around the table, it's like nah, I want that. No, I want that. No, you want that.
In a weird way, you know what it reminds me of? In a really weird way, like a standstill. Is standstill in this deck?
No,
Did you ever try it out?
no,
Would you?
no.
Okay. This reminds me of like a standstill in a weird way. Does that make sense?
It can. It's not a pure permission card. However,
Somebody has to break parity when they don't want to.
correct. It also does not work against board wipes.
What is it? Tapeworm? Tapeworm Hydra? What? Oh, a tree folk. What does this guy do? Whenever our player wow.
This card creates huge card advantage for everyone at the table because in a general game of Commander, there's a large amount of instants, sorceries, enchantments, planeswalkers that are just cast during the course of a game. And all of a sudden, for each one of those non-creature spells, you're going to have everybody wanting to draw more cards.
Group hug, baby. You play, I play. We play together. We play with each other after this, all right, Jason? But this is great. It's cheaply costed for something so powerful in this particular kind of deck.
Correct.
Yeah, I know this guy. Hey, I'm going to feature this guy eventually. You inspired me to put a group hug deck together. So I'm going to run a mono blue Kami. Of course, it's not going to be group hug. I'm going to run like the Narset and the Consecrated Sphinx and all
So
that.
technically, this is the 3rd CEDH card I'm running.
No, he doesn't see play. He doesn't see play in CEH.
He did at one time.
Did he? Oh my god. Times have changed. Power creep is real, right?
It is.
Who's this guy? I know this guy. Is this the Harry Potter expanded universe? Noble Benefactor.
Actually, it's from Weatherlight.
Okay. If Noble Benefactor is put into any graveyard from play, each player may search their library for and one card and put it into there. Whoa. Well, that's neat. Fair magic.
Free demonic tutor for everybody.
Free demonic tutor for everyone. But I mean, in this deck though, you're playing it like slow and fair, right? You hard cast him, and then jump block
and wait for him to die. Yeah. Usually people will try to kill him.
They're not going to overextend and like bolt him or something, right?
People do waste removal on it.
What? People are so. That's greed. It'd be like that, right?
Correct.
Now, now is a clever impersonator in here because it's like a budget alternative to like a Phantasmal Image, or just prefer the impersonator more because for you it has more versatility?
Well, you can copy some of your dumb cards that have stupid synergy or give people headaches, or you can copy one of your opponent's powerful cards. It's just clever impersonator.
It's just clever impersonator, baby. What's this? Oh, this is a new card. Didn't I tell you about this card? I know. I told you about this card. Do you remember I told you about this card? You get. Oh, dude, don't put that. Oh, motherfucker, don't put that face, man. I told you about this card. Did you see it in someone's binder and then forgot that I told you about it? Yeah.
Baron, you didn't even know this card existed till today.
No, I swear to God, this is the guy. Yeah, if they cast multicolors, right? Yeah, I know this card. I told you about this card. Oh, Jason, you forgot. Oh, that hurts my heart feelings in my heart, man.
Well, I know you know about this 9 mana casted card, right, Baron?
Yeah, man. For 8,000 mana, you get a 5/6 Archon. I know Archons, and it flies, and creatures cannot attack. So, why this and not like a serious question? Why this and not like a ghostly prison or something?
Because I'm giving my opponents an incredible amount of mana, which they can pay for Ghostly Prison.
That's a good point. Right. What fan fiction? I can't. You know what it is? It's not that I'm illiterate. I'm reading the cards through the phone, so the font is incredibly tiny. What fascination? X blue snorcery. Tell me about this, because these are brand new to me.
It basically says each player draws X cards, or each player mills X cards.
Now, you're usually going for the draw, right? Because you're this fair group hug deck.
I have never once casted it for the each player mills X cards.
Oh wow, what a good guy. What a just and noble man. And what's their X usually like too?
I'd say anywhere between 5 and 20.
God dang. Mine's a glow. Well, we kind of glossed over the counterspell package, right?
Counterspell package? What can you possibly mean? I want you to have everything you get.
Now, mine's a glow. I gotta go a little bit faster, but we're just gonna go through these a little bit more quickly. Starting through, each player may pay any amount of mana. Each player draws. What? So as it goes around, everyone's gonna be just going plus, right?
So you once mentioned or asked why I run Smothering Tithe in the deck.
You know, you run Smothering Tithe, but you don't run like an Enlightened Tutor or Idyllic Tutor in here.
But I do run a Sterling Grove.
Okay. You wouldn't put either one of those if you had the space?
No.
Just to get like a Tithe faster?
No.
If the Tithe happens, it happens? Anything in this deck, if it happens, it happens?
So this deck is not actively trying to win, it's trying to play a fun game of Magic.
Okay.
And sometimes you just win by accident.
Each player draws X. Forecast. What does foreskin mean? Reveal from your hand. Each player draws a card. No one does.
You don't have to worry about
that.
Yeah,
it's just for flavor text. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one of these cards. Mana Geyser. What's the one that's like this, or is it just target player draws like X cards? It's like a I think it's a reserve list.
You mean like Stroke of Genius?
No, not Stroke of Genius.
Brain Geyser.
Brain Geyser. That's just one X player, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Windfall. Wow, you could Windfall for like 8 trillion cards in this deck. Right? It's like, oh, what's your hand? What's your hand, man? And they're like, it's just 37. Thank you, sir.
You're not wrong.
Collective Voyage. What we have here? Oh, these are these like 3 visits type things?
Each player searches their library for X amount of basic lands and puts them onto the battlefield.
And you bring these type of cards into wait, I'll take this off your hand. Thanks, bro. Thanks, man. I'll take this from you. I'll borrow that for a little bit.
And I'll borrow your Mox Diamond later.
But you play these cards against, if you like play a Seed H pod for shits and giggles, they're not going to go plus in it. That's tech. That's tech against the CDH decks, because they'll have like maybe a basic island, maybe.
However, when I cast the each player draws X cards, I lose the very next turn.
Yeah, you lose the very next turn. That's a good point. The solution's simple. Don't cast those cards. Solution simple. Don't play your commander. Mana Geyser, really neat card. I like to tech it in Pauper once in a while. I'm actually really Jason. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Why? How did you get this?
Came with the deck.
Okay, well, just keep this here. We'll talk about this later. No, good card. Good card. Actually, I never. I say good card. I've never seen it in action. Have you been able to pull it off?
Quite a few times, and sometimes copied. When you're giving your opponents a large amount of lands and mana, they will tend to have a large amount of tapped lands for you to capitalize off of it.
Right. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit faster. We have a role reversal. We're gonna go over this. Let's try to give me 2 second description. Role reversal.
You can exchange a Soul Ring for a Blightsteel Colossus.
Fractured identity.
You can take that one card on the field that's beneficial for your opponent and give it to everyone else.
Little Walker's augury.
So Aminato's Augury is another one of those random cards. You can get a huge advantage from it.
Warp World. People scoop to this, right?
Sometimes,
because it frustrates the board.
So
this is a chaos card, right?
It redistributes all permanents into a random board state. So you could conceivably get one land from it and nothing else, but then again, you could also get a billion dragons.
Decorum. This is chaos. This is chaos, bro.
Well, Disrupt Decorum stops you from getting attacked for one turn.
Yeah, but it's just everyone's going to everyone. It's just a riot. It's just a riot at that point. And you're just watching. You're watching from the top of the podium, from the top of the, in the nosebleeds, just looking down and saying, ha 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 ha. You're only when someone's not playing nice, right? You gotta protect your back.
Well, it's basically to avoid alpha strikes.
Rift is Rift. You're running CDH. I'm sorry. I don't know if you knew that. Emergency powers. What's emergency powers?
Emergency powers.
Oh, it's a windfall. It's largely costed.
It is a wheel that can be played at instant speed.
Good point.
However, if you cast it during your turn, you can put a permanent of 7 or less mana from your hand onto the battlefield.
Intervention. With the heroic intervention, do you also run or consider the white free spell, the maneuver, flawless maneuver, or
that's only for creatures?
Oh, right. Enchantment. So again, a little bit cramped on time. We're just gonna do like a quick 2 second descriptions. Sterling Grove.
Protect your annoying cards.
Rites of Flourishing.
Additional land per turn and additional draw.
We talked about this earlier. The Vineyard. Heartbeat of Spring.
Makes your lands produce an additional mana.
Everybody, right? So this is why you don't run dorks, because you want the dorks that share the wealth.
Because people are going to also be wiping the board a lot. You're not going to get very much advantage out of a mana dork.
Fair enough. Mana Flare.
Makes lands tap for an additional mana.
The Wake, I know the Wake.
Makes your lands tap for an additional mana.
Well of Ideas.
Additional card draw for everyone.
Dictate of Crewfect. Oh, wait, we put him here. Isn't he a creature?
Additional card draw for everyone.
Is this a creature?
No, it is an enchantment.
Why did I think it was a creature? Mirror Maid. Oh, we know.
Crewfix is.
Crewfix, right? The
is
god.
An enchantment god.
Right. Mirror Maid. We know Mirror Maid. Esther's Invocation.
You can change what it is copying every upkeep. So let's say one upkeep, you want to copy your Smothering Tithe, and the next upkeep you want to copy a Force Fruition. You can change that.
Swarm of Intelligence.
Copies your instants and sorceries.
Everyone copies their instants and sorceries.
Just yours.
You don't have that many instants and sorceries.
However, we have the good ones.
Moving on to some artifacts, utility artifacts. Helm of Awakening, giving everybody those pluses. More pluses, Howling Mine. Font of Mythos.
Font of Mythos is a double Howling Mine. It says each player draws 2 additional cards.
Anvil of Bogarden.
Anvil of Bogardon is extra draw power as well as giving each player at the table no maximum hand size.
This is reserveless, bro. So this is CDH. I'm sorry to tell you this. It's reserveless. Yeah, I can't do reserveless, bro. Horn of Greed.
Extra draw power for lands.
Folio Fantasies. I think it's teched. I tried to tinker with Folio Fantasies in a more serious deck.
So Folio of Fantasies should probably have been in the win condition stack because while it does give everybody no maximum hand size, you can use the third ability to force them out of the library.
Nice. Temple Bell. Yes. Each player draws. Puzzle box. More of that. Mirror Mage. What usually is there? I mean, I know disgusting things you could do with the Mirage Mirror. Are there any disgusting things you could tell me that you've done recently with the Mirage Mirror?
Turning Mirage Mirror into a forced fruition during somebody's upkeep. Then they will have to draw 14 cards for each spell they cast.
And then we're going to quickly go over rocks. Jace the Mind, Casual Sculptor, he kills me because the Arcane Signet is accidentally not in the deck, right?
The Arcane Signet is accidentally not in the deck.
So he'll have, the Fell Warstone. Fell Warstone is fantastic in Casual in a 4-color deck. I run the Fell Warstone even in a monocolor deck, so it's a great card. But he'll run all... You don't like Talismans, right? Or is it just a personal choice because you like the etched foil art, the Dan Fraser stuff?
Well, oddly enough, the Talismans do now have this artwork.
Oh, okay. So you have all 6 of the signets.
The signets are in there to actually avoid the life loss of Talismans because sometimes being the group hug player, your opponents do not like you helping your other opponents.
Oh, so they'll come after you. They're out for blood.
Occasionally.
Even if you're letting them draw like 18 cards per turn.
Correct.
And you're not on Talismans because that little ping for you adds up.
It can mean death.
Okay. And because for me personally, I think the signets are a little power crapped, but that's me and I'm a boomer and I don't know anything. But if they work for you, I guess signets are a perfect alternative to even though the Talismans they're affordable, right? They because they're like reprinted all the time.
They have been recently reprinted in the latest batches of Commander product.
Right, and Warhammer. So even the old Talismans are still like easily accessible now.
Correct.
Okay. And then a last rock, we have a Thought Vessel. Land's very simple, right? Well, there are a whole bunch of instant sorceries. If this is in a 100 card deck, it's usually instant sorceries. You didn't max, the one that's represented the most are forests, I noticed.
That is incorrect. Islands and mountains are actually the most important colors in this deck.
Oh, but did you know that the one that's represented the most is the forest? I checked.
If you did, then I probably misjudged.
Yeah, check it out afterwards. It will be in order, so check it out afterwards. So we have the full suite of basics. Personally, I like snow if I'm running like a lot of basics because there's just a handful of more things you could do with snow. That's personal preference. You don't run you don't run all 6 shocks.
I used to, however, being in casual play groups, I did switch some of them out for the dual lands that are proxied in this deck.
In this deck, I know you own this. You're a legacy player, but what else do we have going on? So we have all 6 duels, but no fetches. This accidentally got swapped out. This is supposed to be Savannah, and then just generic stuff. Are these the most represented colors? Is this why you have this pairing? The red, blue, blue, green?
To be honest, I just didn't have better options.
Okay. And then Center at the Sea. You said that one time you did screw over the Thoracle player?
You can screw over the Thoracle player
if they're blind.
If they happen to empty out their deck.
Yeah,
completely.
right. They empty out the deck completely. They don't realize they don't need to empty out the deck.
Correct.
But
so technically, if you're a Thassa's Oracle player, you can leave 2 cards left in your library.
And then finally, no casual deck is complete without the Reliquary Tower. But I guess in this deck it's fair because you do like have ridiculous hand sizes.
Uh, it is not uncommon to have 20 to 30 cards in your hand.
All right, fair enough in this deck, but no casual deck is complete without the Reliquary Tower for no reason. Even though they're pips, they max out on like colored pips, but that's not my business.
I mean, come on, Baron, it's CEDH.
That is not my business. So there you have it. A fair, fun group hug deck. Genuinely group hug, not group slug. Incidentally, there are cards that if you allow, the deck to get carried away, there will close out the game, but it's not actively searching for any of these things. It's just searching for good old 1993 types of fun. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Can I get like a fist bump on the camera? All right, guys, take it easy.